Let's talk about your different options because the last thing you need to do when you're moving and going through the stress, the roller coaster of buying and selling is having to worry about what to do with your stuff. So, George, welcome to the program.
Emilio, always a pleasure. Thanks for having us again. And yeah, storage options are needed nowadays, right? It's not an always easy, smooth transaction where you can go from point A to point B from your current living situation to your new one.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to have a layover somewhere. You might have to have a short-term um, storage option. So we have all the different storage options, whether it's just overnight. Maybe you have to be out of your first home for closing on Monday, but your second or potentially third closing, depending on your situation, is a day or two later, right? We literally have one going on currently. We loaded it yesterday. It's staying on our truck, went into our building actually. So not only was it locked in a truck, the truck then from there was put in our building. That way, just another level of security. So it got loaded yesterday. It's getting delivered later on today, I think for a 12:30, 1 o'clock time frame. So
Mhm.
we just have short-term storage, just one night coming in because the homeowners are not prepared to get directly in. But then also we have long-term storage. We've had clients in for years. Well, either homes are being built or maybe they downsized and they just need the extra stuff that they don't have space for in a storage facility. So depending on what the client's needs are, we do have the storage options, whether it's again short-term, long-term, or even just one night of a stay.
Sometimes people they want to use storage containers where they either pack it themselves or they have you come and pack it, and the storage container then is either stored, like you said, overnight somewhere, or it can be shipped out. How does that work? Like, are there different sizes? Are there different ways of
So
shipping it out? Can it go international, national? How's that work?
again, every situation is different. Yes, we do have storage options like that.
Mhm.
Depending on each client's individual reasoning and what they're moving and where they're moving to, if they're just a go getter and they're physically going to do everything themselves, they can get a shipping container that could go overseas if they're going overseas. What we always say is anytime you're doing any sort of long distance transportation like that, you want to understand where that container is going to go and how it's going to get there.
Mhm.
If you're just loading it yourself and you're putting all your stuff in, are you professionally packing it enough so it is a safe travel? Because when it comes to the on-site storage containers, you want to pack that like it's a regular small fragile box, but do it on a bigger scale. That way there is minimal movement in it. The more
Mhm.
movement you have in your unit, the more likely you are going to have damage in that when you open it later. But when it comes to going overseas, we do have different options that we could assist with loading locally and then getting it prepared, getting the trucking companies prepared to pick it up. Most of the time, it's going overseas, it's going to a shipping yard. We always say before you do a storage container for moving, you want to talk to somebody. You want to understand what goes into it. Us personally, we love using those in rehab situations where the container doesn't necessarily move off site,
Mhm.
um, can stay on site. That's where those really come in handy. To me, they're not. It's not the best for moving long distance. You're better off having it in a truck with a carrier versus just throwing it in a unit and then shipping it yourself.